Out here at Lake Louisa State Park, site of the big ITU weekend coming ahead, the Giraffe Legal Challenge.
Kevin, great to be here. Look, this is what race directors do. We have zip ties and we do fencing, we do it all. This is our 9th year at Lake Louisa State Park. Our 9th year, Jarrod and I decided, 9 years ago, Jarrod and I decided to put this race together. It is the only draft legal race we know of in the country. There's 9 different events. We've got elites, we've got U25s, these are athletes between ages 16 and 19, or up and coming draft legal athletes. We've got juniors are here, the youth are here. It's an awesome event.
How many countries are represented out here this weekend?
I don't know, but Kevin, the elite race, the men's field is actually on a wait list mode, which means there's 70 athletes signed up. I know there's a strong team from Japan here. I don't know the answer to that, but so anyway, but anyway, and I'll tell you, the commitment that Lake Louisa State Park has had with us is outstanding. It's just awesome.
And how about go on with that? How about with Clermont? Why do you pick Clermont as the venue city? I guess
the venue city. But the thing is, to me, this is one of my favorite draft legal venues. It has everything. The swim is perfect. You've got a nice run into the bike course, which is 4 loops. It's a little technical in some areas. It's flat, and then the run is 2 loops. It's perfectly made for this. And there's room for spectators to come down and check us out. We've got certain times that people can come into the park and park. It's $5 to get into the park, and we hope that people will come down and check us out.
But how perfect is that? $5 to see a professional triathlon go on. How about where do you go from here? I know you're Massachusetts based, so you come down here kind of for your spring break.
Well, I just left the snow, Kevin. I mean, there was snowing yesterday up in Boston, but no, yeah, this is so where we go from here. Our next event actually is next weekend in Sarasota. We have another draft legal event. The elites will move from here. They'll stay the week in Clermont. They'll be training in Clermont. They stay here for the week, and then they go to Sarasota for this upcoming weekend for another elite race. So that back-to-back option has been really fun for the athletes.
Well, I think that's pretty perfect. We're so appreciative that you're here and that you come down and make us a part of.
It is awesome. Now, Kevin, will you let me go back into my zip tying? I mean, this is really important. I've got things I got to do.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thanks for coming out. Kevin, thank you for everything.
Site of the 9th edition of the Draft Legal Challenge. Tell us a little bit about where this race came from, maybe the progression of the event, and where your idea to have this event came from.
Yeah, I mean, I love draft legal racing. I raced it for 14 years, and so for me, I wanted to, number one, bring a ITU race, draft legal professional race here to Clermont, but I also wanted to bring a race where we could have people get their pro cards and have development, and have a junior race, a youth race. And so through the years, it started off as, a little bit smaller, and now we have 2 races on the weekend for people to try and get their pro card for the development side. And I mean, honestly, it's a beautiful place to have a race, so can't complain about that.
Sweet. You talk about a little bit about these young kids trying to get their pro card. Tell us a little bit about your background and how this has kind of come full circle, what you're doing now, where you've come from your Massachusetts days to being an Olympian, to living here in Clermont, and now a elite level coach.
Yeah, I had my second ever race here at Lake Louisa, my second ever triathlon. It was a draft legal race. They used to put on this junior U23 series, and that was my first, exposure to draft legal racing, and I loved it. It was awesome, and so it's funny that I ended up living down here. That was 2004, so such a long time ago. But yeah, this, for me, I ran in college, and then I decided I wanted to do triathlons. Got into the sport quickly, made the Olympics in 2008, and I realized that one of the things I want to do is try and give back to the sport and make the sport better than when I came into it. So I've really tried to find ways to promote the junior and the development side of the sport. And now that I'm not racing anymore and coaching, it's something that I'm even more passionate about, because I have a bunch of athletes who are working on that level, want to get up there, want to get their pro cards, want to eventually try and make the Olympics.
Very good. Tell us a little bit about what maybe the spectators or maybe even a volunteer might see tomorrow if they come out to Lake Louisa State Park. Actually, it's Saturday and Sunday, 2-day event. Yep. So maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Lake Louisa is the perfect venue for this race. It's pretty easy to get into and get to. We got the swim, which you can see behind me. So we're gonna swim out, and so you can stand on the beach here and watch the entire swim. The athletes are gonna zip by, transition really quickly, and bike kind of up and down the road. And the good thing is, because it's a loop course, you get to see them 4 times twice, so out and back, so 8 times on the bike, and then you get to see them on the run. They go out and back, so you get to see them 4 times on the run. So it's pretty cool. It's fast. There's lots going on, and it's a pretty exciting course here.
And finally, talk a little bit about Clermont, maybe more specifically Lake Louisa State Park, the partnership you've developed with them, Alden and Scott, the park rangers here. Maybe tell us a little bit about that. What you love living in Clermont and Lake Louisa State Park.
This park, honestly, is one of the kind of gems that nobody knows about. Well, I guess we know about it in Clermont, but this is an amazing place just to come, and we come here and bike and run all the time. The roads actually have a shoulder on them, which is great. There's not very many cars. It's just kind of the perfect place to come out to, and I mean, you can come out to the beach and sit on the beach, and it's just a great place here. They've been extremely welcoming and to us when we've been here, and they've been helpful, and they let you put races on here, and which a lot of places don't do. So there's other races locally that get put on, duathlons and triathlons throughout the year, and it's just a great place to come down to, hang out, but also be able to race.
Thank you, Jarrod. There you have it. Founder of the Giraffe Legal Challenge, Jarrod Shoemaker. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kevin.